10% of the world's oil is offline right now. 2.4 million barrels of daily refinery capacity gone. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. 6 nations' energy infrastructure was hit in 40 days. And experts say recovery will take at least 6 months, if the ceasefire holds today. For some of it, it will take years. This is what 40 days of war did to the world's energy. And the real damage is still being counted. February 28th, 2026. 1:15 in the morning. The United States and Israel launch Operation Epic Fury against Iran. In the first 24 hours alone, over 1,700 targets are struck. Iran retaliates, and the targets it chooses are not just military. They are the veins of the global economy: oil fields, pipelines, refineries, LNG plants, ports. The Gulf, the world's energy heart, becomes the battlefield. Within days, the Strait of Hormuz is closed. 20% of the world's daily oil flow trapped. Iraq, with almost no alternative export routes, loses over 75% of its production. The energy shock spreads from the Gulf to every fuel pump on the planet. 40 days later, a fragile ceasefire holds. But the damage does not disappear with the smoke. Saudi Arabia, the world's largest oil exporter, production capacity cut by 600,000 barrels per day. The East-West pipeline, the backup export route, loses 700,000 barrels per day of flow. The Abqaiq to Yanbu line was supposed to be the lifeline if Hormuz closed. A pump station on that line was hit, one day after the ceasefire. The Manaifa and Hurayz oil fields both struck. Around 300,000 barrels per day lost at each. 4 major refineries were hit. Most kept running. But Saudi Arabia's 12 million barrel per day capacity dropped by at least 5%. And the reserve buffer, the spare capacity that protects the world from supply shocks, is shrinking. Qatar, the world's top LNG exporter. On March 18th and 19th, 2 waves of missiles hit Ras Laffan, the world's largest LNG complex, struck twice in 24 hours. Qatar Energy confirmed 17% of its LNG exports affected. 12.8 million tons of annual production offline. Repair timeline 3 to 5 years. The Shell joint venture liquefaction facility also damaged. Capacity down for at least 1 year. Analysts say even restarting undamaged units will take months. UAE, the Ruwais refinery, 922,000 barrels per day of capacity, hit by drone strike in March. Fire. In early April, debris from air defense systems caused new fires. Habshan, the UAE's largest gas processing plant, shut down twice. 2 gas fields struck in March. Production suspended. The port of Fujairah, outside Hormuz, offered a limited bypass, but it too faced disruptions under fire. Kuwait, the Mina Al Ahmadi and Mina Abdullah refineries. Both hit multiple times. Both kept running, but the damage triggered jet fuel shortage warnings across Europe and Asia. Kuwait had been a primary supplier of jet fuel to the UK and European aviation sector. Iraq, the hardest hit. Before the war, 4.3 million barrels per day. During the war, 800,000 barrels per day, an 81% collapse. The Rumaila oil field, Iraq's largest, shut down by drone strikes. With Hormuz closed and no viable alternative route, Iraq had almost no way out. OPEC's second-largest producer, effectively paralyzed. Iran. 3 fuel depots in Tehran hit on March 8th. The South Pars gas field, the world's largest natural gas reserve, struck on March 18th. Some production units taken offline. Karg Island, Iran's main oil export hub, also targeted. Energy infrastructure there largely survived. Oman, less affected than its neighbors. But the Saadi port oil storage facility was hit. Operations disrupted. Bahrain declared force majeure after the Sitra refinery was struck on March 9th. Full capacity return, months away. Total refinery capacity offline across the region, up to 2.4 million barrels per day. 10% of global crude oil production, still offline. The 2019 Abqaiq drone strike shocked the world for days. One facility, one attack. Oil prices spiked and recovered in weeks. This is not that. 6 nations, dozens of facilities. 40 days. The 2019 shock lasted days. This one is measured in years. Before this war, the world relied on Saudi Arabia's spare capacity as a buffer. Any supply disruption anywhere, Saudi Arabia could open the taps. That buffer is now gone. The world has no safety net. The Strait of Hormuz. 20% of all global oil passes through it every day. No other strait on Earth carries this load. The Panama Canal, the Suez Canal, the Malacca Strait, none come close. When Hormuz closes, the entire system locks. Iraq lost over 80% of its production, not from direct hits alone. The Hormuz closure trapped its oil with nowhere to go. A country with 4.3 million barrels and no exit. That is what a choke point does to a producer. Qatar's LNG damage extends beyond the Gulf. Europe has been diversifying away from Russian gas since 2022. Qatar was the alternative. Now the alternative is damaged for 3 to 5 years. European energy prices, under pressure again. Aviation. Jet fuel from Kuwait, UAE, and Saudi Arabia feeds European and Asian airports. With refineries damaged and supply chains broken, airlines are already watching inventory, and the ceasefire itself is fragile. Saudi Arabia's pipeline was hit one day after the ceasefire was announced. The shooting did not stop cleanly. Every hour the ceasefire holds, markets hold their breath. Jorge Leon of Rystad Energy put it plainly. Even if a permanent ceasefire happens tomorrow and Hormuz reopens the same day, markets need at least 6 months to normalize. In some cases, much longer. That means higher energy prices are not a temporary spike. They are the new baseline. Qatar's 3 to 5 year repair timeline is not a single facility. It is the world's largest LNG complex. Europe, Asia, and South America all rely on Qatari LNG. The ripple runs far beyond the Gulf. Iraq's production went from 4.3 million to 800,000 barrels. That gap does not close overnight. Infrastructure needs to be rebuilt. Fields need to be restarted. Hormuz needs to stay open, long enough for exports to resume. All 3 must happen at once. Saudi Arabia lost its spare capacity role. For decades, Riyadh was the world's shock absorber. Any crisis anywhere, they pumped more. That role is now broken. For how long, no one knows. The peace talks in Islamabad will determine whether Hormuz reopens. Iran controls the strait, practically. Without an agreement, the blockade continues. Without reopening, Iraq stays paralyzed and prices stay elevated. One city, one table, one deal, holding the entire world's energy system hostage. And one more thing no one is saying clearly. The Ateşkes was announced. The strikes continued. Markets do not trust fragile ceasefires. Every pump station, every refinery, every LNG plant that was hit by design. Energy was the weapon, and the world will be paying for it for years. The next video is already ready. It covers the country that benefited most from this war and no one is talking about it. Follow right now before it drops.